What's happening, guys? It's Tony aka T-Slaps here. We're back with a brand new Draft League video, baby. I'm your coach at the Austin FC for Dealings, and this is our Week 6 game of the Draft Jam, our newest Draft League on the channel. This week we're going up against Endless and the Indiana Sneezlers. Of course, you can go check out our opponent and all the other Draft Jam coaches down in the description below, as well as be sure to hit that like button if you do end up enjoying the video, and subscribe if you are new, as draft content is uploaded weekly on the channel. Spoilers for last week, so go check out that video at the top right hand corner if you haven't seen it yet. But we picked up our second win in a row in order to improve to a record of 2-3. If we want to lock playoffs, we need to win all 3 of our final games, but even just winning 2 of our last 3 may put us in a good enough place for playoffs. We of course want to make playoffs after a big drought recently, and in order to do so, we have to win against one of the best coaches currently in the league record-wise, in a matchup that feels completely unwinnable. Now time to tell you what we're bringing and why we're bringing it, so if you're just interested in the battle, there's a timestamp on the screen or in the description to take you to the game. Now, Endless's team is probably the strongest team in the entire league in my opinion. They have super strong offensive threats with a Terra Urshifu Rapid Strike leading the charge that I'm now thinking may have needed to be included in the bans. Ogerpon Hearthflame, which I am now realizing I don't really match up into Ogerpon really well after facing now my 3rd Ogerpon of the season, and even the Hisuian Zoroark, which my team kinda has trouble pivoting into. Pair that with an amazing defensive core of Screamtail and Pecharunt, and we have a big mountain to climb that I couldn't even beat in Mox in order to give ourselves a win and bring us one step closer to a playoff berth. Starting off the squad this week is our Terra Captain Quaquaval. This is one of our 2 win cons this week with Swords Dance and Aqua Step to easily allow my Quaquaval to snowball against our opponent's team. If we can position just one SD, it is pretty much lights out for our opponent. We have Knockoff, which paired with our Terra Dark typing can allow us to nearly Oko Pecharunt depending on the set. Finally, we have Close Combat as our strongest stab and enough speed investment to outspeed his entire team after 1 Aqua Step. We're holding the Covert Cloak as this will allow us to SD freely in front of either the Volcanion without having to fear being burned by Steam Eruption, and HP investment allows us to live 3 hits from full and take advantage of a non-Terra Volcanion, or SD freely in front of the Pecharunt as we don't have to worry about Malignant Chain proccing against us. Our second way of winning this game is going to be our Choice Scarf Gengar. Our opponent does not have a great switch in into our Gengar, as we are running dual stabs with Shadow Ball and Sludge Wave in order to hit our opponent hard, and Dark Pulse as coverage in order to hit a Pecharunt, but also predicting something like the Hisuian Zoroark to come in sneakily trying to catch it off guard. Finally, we have Destiny Bond in order to claim a KO if we don't see another safe avenue to pick off a setup threat such as a bulk up Urshifu. This Gengar has a great chance to clean if we can set up our endgame to spam either of its stabs against our opponent's weakened team. One way we can weaken said team for our Gengar is to cook with our Life Orb Sheer Force Landers Incarnate. We're running a moveset of Earth Power as our main stab, Sludge Wave in order to threaten the Screamtail, and Rock Slide to hit a Terra Flying Volcanion, as if he Terras his Volcanion, I could see it being Terra Flying to be immune from our ground type moves and resist our fighting stabs from Quaquaval, as it naturally already is immune to our water stabs from Quaquaval. Finally, we have U-Turn as switch momentum on our opponent's team. Finally, adding some much needed bulk to this team is our heavy duty boots Moltres this week. We are decently physically defensive in order to pivot into Pokemon such as the Metagross safely, or even the Ogerpon's Rock Tomb at full reliably, but we have some nice offensive investment as Endless's team does not switch in particularly well into Moltres. We're rocking our dual stabs with Hurricane and Flamethrower, Roost for reliable recovery, and U-Turn in order to maintain switch momentum on his team. Finally coming off the bench this week after 6 weeks is our Latias. We're running a fully supportive set this week with Mist Ball as our main stab, Shadow Ball to hit the Pecharunt and Metagross, Recover as a reliable recovery, and Thunder Wave to cripple his predictable switch-ins such as the Screamtail or the Metagross. We're bulky enough with our Cobra Berry to take 2 hits reliably from Ogerpon as long as they don't click player off on our switch-in, with us having also to act as a slight Urshifu check if need be, or at the very least having to get a Thunder Wave off in order to neutralize that threat. Finally, we have our team's MVP, I would say at this point, Tyranitar. We're running an AV set this week in order to help deal with all the special threats such as the Hisuian Zoroark and Pecharunt. We're rocking 2 stabs this week with Knockoff and Dark Pulse, as Knockoff hits stronger against our opponent, but once the Pecharunt's item is removed, Dark Pulse will constantly pressure it with 2 KOs even if the item is lost. We have Heavy Slam with enough attack investment to 2 KO most Screamtails, and Stone Edge is our strongest move against our opponent's team. We opted for Terra Poison this week in case we need to avoid the poison from Pecharunt, resist the fighting stab from Urshifu, or grass stab from the Ogerpon. This is going to be our team for week 6 of Draft Jam. What do you guys think of the team? Let me know in the comment section below what changes you would have made to the team. This definitely felt like the sloppiest team this season, and against one of the strongest teams in the league. That's not really something you want to admit, but I still hold out hope that we can squeeze out a win this week. Big shout out to Kirby and Keegan for the mocks this week. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking around, and hit that like button if you do end up enjoying the team builder. Now let's not hold back the game any longer. Let's get right into the battle. Here we are, getting into week number 6 of the Draft Jam, going up against Endless and their Indiana Sneezlers. Pretty terrified in this matchup. I mean, I just don't feel prepared for this. It's been a very busy week, and I feel like I just wasn't able to get the team I wanted. Why are we not taking a break? It is 2025. Why are we not taking a break for Thanksgiving? That's my excuse for not being ready, but nonetheless, we're going to try our best here to pull out a win. On a little bit of us, you've got a small streak going, right? A small win streak. Just trying to make sure that we can hopefully clinch ourselves a playoff spot. I think winning 2 of these next 3 weeks should be able to suffice in that. But you know, we just got to deal with the game in front of us right now. So he decided to bring the Urshifu Rapid Strike, the Screamtail, the Donphan, the Volcanion, the Ogerpon Hearthflame, and the Hisuian Zoroark. So things we don't see. Don't see Petra Runt, which is pretty crazy. I mean, that was his Quack Stop. So I guess it'd have to be Screamtail. No Donphan is nice. That means probably no Hazards. No Metagross is actually really good. No Conk and no Rabombi. So he really opted no Hazards. I mean, I guess he has Screamtail, right? Well, he does have Donphan. I don't know why I said no Donphan. What did I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Yeah, I scratched off Donphan for some reason. So I think I want to lead Hisuian, or not Hisuian. I think I want to lead Quack here. I didn't even give him a chance to think about it. But I was thinking about it leading up to this battle. I think I want to lead Quack here because it covers for both the Hisuian Zoroark and the Urshifu well, I think, by allowing me to just Aqua Step. That's the one thing I mean, I don't mind staying in here actually, because I do have the Covert Cloak, so I don't have to worry about getting burned here. So I don't mind staying in against this thing, seeing if this is Hisuian Zoroark, right? And just clicking a knockoff, removing potentially an AV or something like that. I do believe it would kill the Zoroark if that's what it is, and I do believe I live any hit, so I don't have to Terra here, which is nice as well. So I think I'm fine here. My win con is going to be Gengar, I believe. He's going to Terra this thing. Okay, so this is his Terra Captain. So that's nice for me. And we also know that this isn't the Hisuian Zoroark. Interesting that he Terra'd this turn 1. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click knockoff here, remove potentially Boots. I don't know. We're going to get a big crit turn 1. We're going to knock off AV, okay. And we're going to see the Steam Eruption. So I don't have to worry about a burn here, luckily. So we did 234 to this thing. Of course, we have to swap out now, but let me get some calcs going and see what we can find out about this set. So he did 32 with the Steam Eruption. That is not very special attack invested at all. None at all. That knock did about 40%. So I think it's a max Spadef AV set or something like that. Or maybe it's some speed investment, something along those lines, right? I believe going into Yamato here is fine. Although if he has, I might have to stay in and CC here. I'm not doing any damage. Can I kill with the +2? Damn, I did not give myself enough turns or enough time. We're gonna go into Yamato here and see what happens. If he's Terra, Bug Blast. How much are we taking? He's gonna Wild Charge here. Okay, that works for me. That kind of makes me feel like he doesn't have Terra Blast then, just because I don't think he'd have the moves. If I Thunder Wave here, I think that's a pretty decent play. Worst case is he go. I mean, I think Screamtail is a switch in and getting the Thunder Wave on that would be super nice. And then from there we go into Marco and try to do stuff. I guess he tries to set up rocks. Is there a way for me to threaten that? I could go into Perona. That would cover. I could make a double into Perona here, because I think if he stays in here, he clicks the Bug Blast, right? Bug Blast. And that would cover Screamtail and at least prevent rocks for a little bit. And he didn't bring his guy, right? He didn't bring his Metagross to absorb the Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave. So I'm gonna try to make this play right now. Feels pretty scary, but I think it's something that I need to do in order to put myself in a good spot here. So it's a Wild Charge. Okay, so we're gonna see what come in here. I mean, Donphan can come in if it's like EV, Kid Brave. What is that? Donphan, okay. So we're gonna do a little bit of damage here, nothing crazy, I imagine. I mean, that just kind of screams AV to me. I'm going to Marco here. I don't think you're gonna be Rock Move. I just don't think you have it in your move slot. I think your Spin, Earthquake, Knock, and like either Shard or Spinner, I think, and you're like AV. That's my guess as to your set, and I feel pretty confident on that. So we're gonna go ahead and go into Moltres here. Of course, Donphan is gonna be able to take the hits pretty well with it being Assault Vested, but he also doesn't have like a great pivot in my Moltres here. He's gonna make a double off himself, so good play on his part. I don't know what he was predicting, so we'll see. He's gonna go back in a Screamtail. He really wants his rocks up, which is like fair. I'm gonna go ahead and Hurricane here. I'm just gonna try to get some damage off, I guess, at this point. Or I could U-turn pretty safely, I think. And then from there, if I U-turn, I can go into Whitebeard and Sludge Wave this thing. I actually I'm gonna Hurricane first and then U-turn, I think. But if I do that, then I have to take Rock's Chip on Whitebeard, and I don't like that. I don't want to take Rock's Chip. Well, I guess I'd have to take Rock's Chip no matter what. Okay, stupid play, stupid play. Thought about that, and I'm dumb. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna U-turn out. We're gonna see Helmet. We aren't gonna see Helmet. And I think I just want to go into Perona here. That I can go into Rocks and put some pressure on his team, but then there's still that Donphan alive. I get a mean knockoff on it, and I mean, not like he does a lot of damage to me. Knockoff seems really, really good into his team. But so does this. I'm gonna go into this for now. And I can just Sludge Wave. I don't love that I had to take that Rocks Chip. We're gonna see leftovers on this. Not that we have to do this, but it's fine. We're gonna go ahead and click Sludge Wave here. He probably goes into Donphan, and then I can go into something on a knockoff. Something's gonna have to take knock. Kinda don't mind if it's Lottie, because I have Cobra, right, for the Ogerpon knock or something like that. But if that's the case, right, like Cobra knock versus non-item knock isn't that much of a difference. So I don't think I mind going into Lottie on this next turn. As he goes into Donphan, like I said, we're going to see a Sludge Wave come out. We're just going to have to slowly chip this thing down. I mean, getting a T-Tar pivot in order to get a knockoff might not even be bad at some point. I think that's a really good play if I can maneuver that around. Because we're trying to set up our Gengar to win, right? And all these AV mons are kind of preventing that, right? So I don't want to go into Marco and get my item knocked. So I could also go into Bond Clay here. Can Bond Clay 2-hit KO Volcanion with like CC? I feel like the answer is no. Alright, I think I have to, but you might just Ice Spinner here. That's also bad. I think I have to go into Quack here, unfortunately. Just fine. I could Terra and Dark knock off. I think that's not a bad play. I think that might secure me a KO on Volcanion. I don't need my Poison Terra, I don't believe. I mean, it could be nice. The Poison Terra could be really, really nice. So we're gonna go ahead. And do I want to knock here again? I mean, Volcanion's sitting at like just above half. CC is never killing, but I don't mind if he goes into that because I have Lottie. So I think I'm gonna just knock and remove the Screamtail's item. I do want to save my poison because it actually does seem nice to save that for like Ogerpon late game. Jeez, I do no damage. We're just gonna knock and get rid of the AV if I can. Like I said, he's not staying in here ever. I wish I had U-turn on this set. I think U-turn would have been phenomenal instead of SD. I'm gonna go into dock this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and get my knockoff off, do a little bit of damage, go into Lottie. I think if I position in my T-Tar, we're in a good spot. I just have to find that, and I really wanted Quack to be. Yeah, I think I should have changed my Quack to have U-turn over SD. Him not bringing Petro is just so different. He like really brought like a 6 that really disturbs what I had in mind for my game plan. We're gonna go into Latias. Are you gonna make like a double or something like that? He does have Terra Blast Bug. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that might just be game. Losing that thing, it means I am so weak to Ogerpon now. I need to have to keep my T-Tar Terra alive and around. I can go into Volcanion here, that feels pretty free. Or not Volcanion, I can go into Moltres here pretty freely. This is a free Hurricane against his team, which is nice at least. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he had it. I mean, it makes sense, right? I just didn't think he'd have the coverage for it. So he's gonna have Terra Blast. Yeah, I guess because he doesn't need Earthquake if he has Wild Charge. So he can just run like dual stabs, Terra Blast, Wild Charge. Yeah. Good bring, man. He's going to Starfire, Screamtail. We're gonna go ahead and try to Hurricane this thing. We're gonna connect. Luckily, should be doing some good damage, I imagine. That's not bad. My thing is, what do I do from here? I can go back into Lando, that covers a T-Wave. I don't think you ever click an Ice move here. And then I have to U-turn. And if he stays in, then I can get into my gouging, or not gouging, my my T-Tar and go from there. I'm all over the place in case you can't tell. Do I really want to take that chip though? Yeah, I think we have to do that. I think we have to go into our guy. I don't want to get T-Waved. And that's the reason why I'm making this play, because Moltres is really good at beating up some of his slower mons here. We're gonna see a Wish, that makes sense. Donphan probably comes in. I'm gonna click U-turn. If he stays in, then I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Tyranitar here, so I can start heavy slamming his team maybe. Or knockoff. Probably knockoff first. Yeah, man. I just don't have the team here. This is just not the right team to have brought. His Urshifu is just so terrifying. I really didn't have anything around it. Like maybe Scarf Kilowattrel this game? But even then, like, it does nothing against the Screamtail, the Donphan. I mean, Scarf Kilowattrel actually looks pretty decent with flying spam. Maybe that was a better bring this week. We're going to U-turn here, though, as I imagine he goes in a Donphan. So I'm just going to get this thing all the way back up to full again. I'm going to U-turn out. Definitely like Spadef Helmet. And we've like taken 2 rocks of chips, or 2 chips of rocks and life orb, so we just don't live an Ogerpon hit anymore from full, or maybe even we might not even live a Zoroark kit at this point. So we're just like in a really bad spot right now. We're like in such an awful spot. I can go into Quack here. I can knock off into CC. Removing this AV might be what I need to do. Or I just go back into Moltres. Yeah, I think I'll go back into Moltres here. Because Screamtail never caught a Wish, so I think it KOs. Or I think it dies to 2 Hurricanes here. Because I'm just like, I have to rely on this thing not having rock coverage. I don't think it does. He's going to switch out. And go into, I imagine you sack, okay, you're gonna go to this. Oh, this is healthier than I remembered it being. We're gonna connect, luckily. Do good damage there. We might kill with another one. I think it's gonna be really close. I just have to risk it here. If I get caught with a T-Wave, that's really bad, yeah. Yeah. Really bad. Can you break through? Yeah, you do, but you missed, so that's cool. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't think I was prepared for this game at all, man. I'm gonna U-turn out, go into... I think going to, what is that one called? Going to T-Tar, try to knock off that Donphan's AV. Because, I mean, we just got to try to bring Gengar in to, like, try to bring it to win this game. And I just don't see how I do that, especially with Husui and Zoroark still lying around. I think that it's just game over, to be honest. I just didn't bring a good team here. How do I want to do this? I think I have to knock off on the Donphan coming in, so I can remove the AV. If I want my guy to win, he's just gonna stay in and T-Wave me. So, I mean, not like I need the speed on this, it's just kind of inconvenient. Maybe I should have brought this in sooner. Wish, Rocks, Psychic Fang, T-Wave. So yeah, I mean, this thing literally can't touch me. I should have brought this sooner. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. So it should have thing should have came in sooner. What do you do now? Am I heavy slam and a knock? Yeah, heavy slam here. A knock on the Donphan coming in to remove the AV. Like that already just goes Urshifu, right? But I mean, knocking off that Urshifu could be good too for me. T-Tar doing T-Tar stuff. I mean, it might be able to prevent a 6-0 at least. You go hard Volcanion here, I might just cry. I'm not gonna lie, because you definitely live this knockoff here. Like, just go Donphan. Let me knock off the AV. Wow, bro. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna go into the Volcanion. You're probably gonna live this, right? Don't think I need you anymore. I think this is a sack. Does Moltres outspeed Volcanion? I don't think so, right? You gonna double? Breaking my Screamtail? Or back into Screamtail? Casper? That Zoroark? No, it's this thing. I guess I wouldn't see if it's Zoroark, right? Just Casper, so Ghost type. No, I definitely don't outspeed that Volcanion. So I'm gonna go into this. You can't Terra, so I can at least scare it with Hurricane and Flame Body. I just sack this because I lost my Latios, so. Nice. Hey guys, here we are in the replay actually. So this game, Breaking the Fourth Wall, finished up about over a week ago, I guess at this point. And we obviously finished the game up on Showdown, and I was not commentating. I mean, if we're being completely honest, I was completely out of it by the time that DC happened. I was definitely let my emotions get the better of me. Now, of course, this isn't like, it wasn't anything directed towards Endless. I just prepped really badly. He was outplaying me. There was just nothing I could do right. Like, I was in a hole really badly. And so I got really quiet, and just out of like not wanting to be like really mad on the recording, stuff like that. So I just decided, hey, I'm just gonna, quiet down. I'm gonna post comp from here on out. I would rather like do that than just be me being mad the entire rest of the commentary, right? So here we are. This is the point where the Screamtail T-Wave my Moltres, and from here, Endless and I decided just to to go our own ways from here. So rather than me trying to get U-turn out, and then I got like fully parried, and then I went to T-Tar, try to take it out, and he went into Urshi, and that's where we were at an Urshi versus T-Tar point. Or no, I guess it was Moltres. I think it was on Moltres at that point. And we DC'd. He was just like, hey, why not? Why recreate the parents, stuff like that? Not much had happened in those turns. Let's just start from here. And so we're like, yeah, that's cool. I will say the one advantage to that that worked against him was that I know it's full moveset now, and I know its last move is Psychic Fangs, which we didn't know at this point. Or earlier, so I know T-Tar is relatively safe to go into, minus me getting T-Wave. So that's what I'm going to do here. And don't mind me, because it has been a while since I've played this game, and seen it. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go into our T-Tar here, knowing that it really can't hit us with anything. I was like scared of Drain Punch for a while, and we're just gonna get T-Waved, and we're gonna get fully parried, which really sucks. And obviously we know like throughout the game he was wanting to go into Donphan and stuff like that. So I'm like, my game plan once again was to try and get that knockoff on the Donphan. And we're not going to be able to do that as he goes into the Urshifu or Ice Stone Edge here, predicting him to maybe want to go in the Volcanion this time around like he did earlier in another sequence. He's going to get an Urshifu and get back up to full with the Wish. And we're pretty much in the same scenario where I just end up having to sack my Moltres. Don't get a Flame Body proc or anything. We're going to go into our Quaquaval. He's scared that we're Scarfed. I'm going to CC. Actually, I don't know if it's scared that we're Scarfed or we just lived the hit. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we're going to try to kill this thing, and we don't even get the kill. Of course, we live, luckily, thanks to our Covert Cloak and our Speed Def investment. We're going to CC again, trying to pick up the KO. I really wanted to predict the Screamtail coming in, but I just couldn't. And so I lose my Quaquaval there. I get to go into Lando here as, of course, the Donphan is going to be super healthy. I'm just going to Earth Power again, because at this point, I know I lost the game. I'm just trying to see if there's any way I can force him to sack him on so I can conserve diff, and this is kind of one of the scenarios here where I weakened this thing so much that it allowed myself to pick up the KO here with Gengar. And so now Screamtail's gonna come in, which I thought was really weird. I don't know if he was trying to see if I was locked into Scarf or saw maybe he thought he outsped and he got my speed creep right, and he didn't. Anyways, I'm gonna go into my obviously the Ogre is gonna come in. And I was thinking that maybe it was the Hisuian Zoroark. That was my guess, I believe, coming in that time. And so I just had to go into my T-Tar on that, and he just U-turns out, of course, pretty safely. And get to go into Urshi, and I have to sack another Mon here, so I'm just going to Poison here, see if I can't live the hit, like him clicking CC or something like that. He clicks the neutral Surging Strikes easily, right? And get to KO me, go back into Gengar, and I think I just click Destiny Bond here to try to claim one more diff point so that we can at least bring this down to a 3-0. In the game, I was like, wow, I'm really about to get 6-0'd here, and luckily it was just a 3-0. So, GG to Endless. I apologize that I could not fully live comm this game. Just I really was out of it by the time that middle sequence happened. I mean, good prep on him, having the Terra Blast bug to kill my Latios, and just walling Michael Quavel. Like, that was a really good set. And he just completely outplayed me as well. So at this point, we're falling down to 2-4, and so it's just kind of up to us winning our last 2 games to even have a chance at making the playoffs, and then from there we would need to hope for some other games probably to go our way, because the race is really tight, and with it being an even number of weeks in the regular season, there's going to be a ton of teams that fall in that 4-4 range. So really got to get some high diff wins here in the next 2 weeks, but hey, I think we can do it. We're going to try our hardest. If you did enjoy, make sure that like button and subscribe. We have a new draft analysis going up tomorrow. If you're watching this on Saturday the 6th, then tomorrow the 7th, there's an exciting new draft analysis, and there's another league coming next week as well. Not doing a draft analysis, but that will be on the channel here soon. So 3 leagues, very exciting. So make sure to subscribe if you are new for a ton of draft league content, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.